Hello, everyone. Good day. My name is O'Neill McLean. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to have Kavithan in with me, and we're going to talk about what's going on in our community. Well, specifically his community. He's in the Scarborough area in Ontario. We're going to talk about food pantries. We're going to talk about business and how he's been treated and what can be done to help people that are utilizing food banks and grocery stores moving forward. Join me in welcoming Cav. Let me just get him started here. Cav, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, O'Neill, for inviting me to this interview or this conversation, and I can't wait to expand on what we're going to discuss about.
Thanks, Cav. Yeah, so let's start off by discussing what happened quite a few months ago when you were dropping off items to a specific food pantry north of where you are, and there was a few volunteers and pastors that treated you unfairly. They knew that you were picking up food on behalf of other people, and the people who use the XP Eat service are people who some people are experiencing disabilities, some people are going through a hard time, and they need the food bank in general, but they also can't pick up food by themselves because, hey, there's the cost of travel, skipping work, they have to stand in line. It's a lot of effort just to be there to access food, which we understand, but people don't necessarily need to go through hardship just so some of these people who are supplying the donations feel good about, like, hey, if they really want the food, they're going to stand in line for hours and wait for it because we don't care about their time. But hey, but people's time is important. Some people have to pick up their kids. Some people have to pull their kids out of school. Cav and your program, your team in Scarborough is there to help. But what happened to you when you were in line and you had a proxy, which is a signed document, and you showed them this? What happened, Cav?
Yeah, so this food bank is actually a church. So this church is called One Church, right? So how it went was, so when I went there to pick up an order for, I think, four or three people, and so their process of people picking up their order, or maybe some people pick up the order for themselves and some do it to deliver to like a family member. So I basically stood in line until it was my turn. They'll call my name, and basically, I was in the process of giving out my name, not my name, sorry, the names of the individuals
The
that
ones you're
needed
picking up for.
the exactly. And I also showed them a proxy letter to let them know that I have full permission to deliver to these families, and also it also explains why they can't physically come to the food bank. But unfortunately, they wouldn't cooperate with me. They were, they're being, I feel like they're harassing me, being racist towards me, like just saying bad words and trying to kick me out, they're even threatening to call the police and basically escalate a situation that didn't need to be escalated. There was like no reason why they're doing this. And I don't know, like you know this, like I tried calling you, so maybe
Yeah.
they can
So
reason with you.
exactly. And the thing is the fact that we're pretty straightforward. We had a signed document, which is a legal document saying we're picking up on behalf of these people. So the underlying issue here is the fact that they're instructed, or I wouldn't say instructed. Well, they have a choice. Every organization has a choice, but I think that the larger organization here that manages the food, there's food banks and then there's food pantries. You're at a food pantry. So the larger food bank who supplies food to the pantries, they have an agenda. And their agenda consists of, you know, they would need to raise money. And if an outside organization that's not a charity comes in and says, hey, we have a service that's going to be helping people, even though it's helping them, their own customers, that large food bank needs to get donations for the type of services we're providing. So if we're providing a service that works that means they're no longer going to get donations to provide that exact service that they're providing that doesn't work. I know that sounds confusing, but they actually provided delivery for their food pantry locations before, and they're paying their drivers for it. Um, but the funding dries up because, how much money can you allocate to pay for delivery if those funds were used to purchase food? Now, I see an opportunity for us to create a business to say, hey, we're going to charge people a fee less than what they're paying for bus fare and things like that. So if somebody can pay less than bus fare to get food delivered to them, and it makes sense for us as a business to provide that service with AI, with technology, allowing text message, hey, we're doing it. Why tell food pantries don't work with us? Well, because it's affecting your donation money? I think that's stupid. But hey, that's my view. That's how I feel, and I have the right to speak up and share these thoughts. And Cav has the right to not go through abuse because you have your agenda, which you're inflicting on others because you're threatening them. You're not going to get the same amount of food if you work with this company, but at the same time, you're still going to allow competitive organizations, larger, to pick up food less efficiently for your customers. Makes completely no sense. People who use a food pantry should have a choice. I know I'm doing all the talking here, Cav. Feel free to interrupt me, but that's my very strong view. Right? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, like yeah, I was actually listening to you, and like I definitely agree everything you say, and I feel like it's the agenda that you're mentioning about, like how basically I feel like with Daily Bread they care about more about their needs and wants to be met than actually helping the individuals that we are struggling in this economy, and people basically the immigrants having to go to food banks, not just the immigrants but even Canadian citizens that work minimum wage, like corporate jobs, even they have to go to food banks, from what I've been seeing from my experience of going to these multiple food banks in the Scarborough alone, right?
Yeah,
And Daily Bread not really acknowledging this, and not really like basically when we have a solution to helping people take some of the financial stress out with our service being cheap and affordable, and they see us as a solution, and it just makes no sense because they don't really they haven't even explained to us why they don't want to work with us, and that's
they
what makes it more frustrating for me.
my very strong view is that I don't we don't need everybody to work with us, and that's why we have the proxy. Now, because you're a guest host, you can actually say whatever you feel. I'm representing the company, so I can share what I feel, but I still have to be careful about what I say to a certain degree. I understand you're sharing your opinion and your views on what's actually happening and who's doing what. Um, so, like, we just got to the point where we're all about the people, right? We're community first. Like that's the name of our show. Is we want to focus on what do people need, how can we help them, we're going to fight for them. Um, our agenda with the people's agenda actually align, which is fine with us because hey, we're living in the same communities that the people are living in. We're not sitting here as making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month or a year. We understand what's going on with the people, so and we're out there. So yeah. So what's next? What's next? How can we solve the issues? We've mentioned the proxy. Many of you don't know what a proxy is. So a proxy is a document that people sign to say, hey, we're allowing XP Eats to pick up food on their behalf at a food pantry. The food pantry themselves shouldn't be denying our delivery people the pickup when they have the proxy, but some of them have been. So That's something that's already bothering us and is a topic. So the solution moving forward, what we've decided to do is we're going to get documents signed by people who really care about this issue, and we're going to present it to MPPs and high levels of government within Canada and the U.S. In U.S., it's less of a problem. In the U.S., people they move faster. They really do care. There's like community-wise, they care about each other and one another, and they want the fastest, quickest way to help people get out of poverty or to sustain themselves so that they can work themselves out of poverty. These are my strong views. I I see it happening, so people can't tell me otherwise. We're working in Canada and the U.S., and we see the stark difference. It just sucks that there's organizations that are just have just, I guess they've been heading in the wrong directions for some time, and they can't help themselves. So they want to show that they have power and control, um, and they want to present themselves as such. And because it hasn't been publicized what they've been doing, they feel like they can continue to act this way. So, Cav, if there's anything else you have to say, please feel free. This is the time.
Um, I'm trying to think.
You lost for words. You're in the
No, I think
you got the ums going.
I know I just lost the words to be honest. Like I just want to just basically continue doing the just be able to have the freedom to do delivery without these barriers in the way, right? So it's in a way also not just impacting the food, the what's it called the food bank users, but also this issue is also impacting like our drivers and them having a lack of deliveries because of this. So either way, like I just want this problem to be resolved. Like that's my
Yeah,
main
I
thing.
I agree. I agree. So I'm going to thank
Yeah.
everybody for listening to us today. We are going to be doing this a little bit more often, sharing our thoughts, probably bringing a few other guests. Cav's going to be regular on here. If there's any topics you would like us to cover, please share in the comments. Remember to follow us on our social medias. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We'd love to help more people. So by you sharing your thoughts, will help us reach more people because more people will know that this option of delivery from food to groceries is available. All right. Thanks again.